Goodbye and good night. Hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. You know it. Get ready. Woo! We are doers, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jer.
I am Jay Tilley.
Woo! Man, we have so much to talk about. I tell you, we've got Forbidden Door 2. We've got Money in the Bank. We've got this, that, and the other. And man, it is good to see you. It is good to be here on the No Shave Man Cave, brought to you by Fantasy Sports Corp with Jay Tilley himself, Ellie Jer, your favorite veterans that are sitting here talking about wrestling and a bunch of other shit, dude. Talk to me. What do you got?
Hey, man. Yeah, it's good. It's for those that maybe noticed or did not notice, we've been kind of out of the pocket for, I don't think we recorded anything last week. Actually, I don't think we've recorded anything since the 22nd. So,
yeah,
but that's not just it. We really haven't even talked wrestling much because our work lives have been a little crazy and personal lives. And so, yeah, like you said, Forbidden Door 2, we've got Money in the Bank, we've got Dynamite, we've got a lot of stuff to go through and talk about. So excited to get on here. Excited to talk wrestling. And see what you thought about everything, because I've watched Forbidden Door 2 a few times now, and every time I watch it I kind of go, oh man, I really did like that, or I didn't like that. I will admit I've only watched pieces of Money in the Bank. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but it's on my list. I hear it's really good. Obviously what I have seen was excellent. So
and I appreciate, so like, first off, Jay Tilley, he just hit 21 for what, the 13th or 14th time. Second time, my bad. So happy birthday to you, my man. I've got a pretty cool gift waiting for you, and lunch at your, oh man, yeah, thanks to got me a Cody belt here. Hey, yeah, you know what, if that's what it comes to and that's what you need for your birthday, my belt is your belt, brother. But happy belated birthday, and got a cool gift for you sitting here, and we'll hook up next week, and I'll get it in your hands. And
cool.
But yeah, no. So like you said, it's been nonstop with indie wrestling, with New Japan. You've got the regular New Japan that was participating in the Forbidden Door 2. You've got the New Japan Strong, all of that going on. Congratulations. We've got a new champion, which is super awesome. I love when there's a big title defense, and then like you just don't expect it, and bam, you've got a new champion, and it's like, what? So kudos to we've got a couple of new champions, and you just like, you talk about a childhood dream. And I don't know if everybody remembers when Shawn Michaels won the world title, and he was right there in San Antonio with his trainer, and it was Gorilla Monsoon and everybody talking a childhood dream come true. Vince McMahon was there. Childhood dream comes true. And you have Eddie winning a New Japan title, which, what turns everybody on to wrestling is like, it's all driven on what you're into. And shout out to Eddie, and everything that he's got going on and everything he's contributing to the industry. And shit hot, man. Congratulations on the on his title. That's sick.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those special moments. He went into that match with Kenta, and I was thinking, we'll see. Like, I didn't think they'd pull the trigger on it, but wow, they did.
Oh,
And I was like, holy cow. And
yeah.
I love the fact that he sold the arm injury from Dynamite previously. So, the Blackpool Combat Club attacked him. And that's some of the stuff we need to get into too, is all Blackpool Combat Club stuff, because
That's so
there's
ridiculous.
the Moxley stuff in that. I don't think we've talked about that stuff and how that's
No,
intertwined with stuff, and how, Moxley's turning his back while Kingston's getting his butt kicked because he doesn't want to see it. And then calling out Forbidden Door, and here he calls it, or not Forbidden Door, calling out Blood and Guts on the day he knows Eddie Kingston won't be able to be in it. So, like, I don't think there was I think it's coincidental, the timing, but I think they can play it into storyline. Like, yeah, I called it then because Eddie can't join you, so I know he won't be there because he'll be doing the G1,
right.
which, again, Eddie Kingston in the G1 Classic.
That's another like another childhood dream. Like if I could be, I tell you, so I used to be just over 6 foot. I've had a couple of back surgeries and gravity and that whole thing. If I could be a kid now in this day and age, knowing what I know now, dude, I would be happier than I don't know what, because I would be able to have a pro wrestling career, because there's so many different venues,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't, like, it's not the end all be all. It isn't just the AWA. It isn't just NWA. It isn't just WWE. There's the indies. There's the different facets of New Japan. There's AEW. There's Ring of Honor. There's, just so many different stuff. So many different avenues. Like, if I was one of those boys or girls, just like Miss Stark, she just graduated high school. She already has a couple of titles under her belt, and here she is getting signed. She's competing on a frickin' New Japan Forbidden Door show. Like, are you frickin' serious? If I was in this era, I would be flipping and flopping, and because I'm only gonna get so big. And I tell you, now is a perfect time to be a wrestling fan. And if you are an aspiring blank, insert whatever that is that you want to do whenever you grow up. I'm 49 years old. I still haven't grown up. When I grow up, I want to be the best person that I can be. I want to do some really cool stuff that makes an impact. And you know what? If I get to talk about freaking wrestling, that's a bonus. And now with New Japan, the relationship with AEW Impact is getting stronger and stronger.
Yep.
Every day you have, different aspiring wrestlers getting over. You have AEW and Darby Allin, out on the grind. Mark Henry out on the grind recruiting. Dude, this is such a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. And AEW really is killing it, and in nothing but a good way. And again, I talk about this every time anyone ever brings up AEW. Jay Tilley turned me on to AEW because I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm a WWE fan and a big NWA fan. There's only so much time for wrestling. And you were like, yeah, dude, let's go check it out. It's at Daly's place. All right, bet. Hey, we got the River City Wrestling Con. All right, cool. Let's check it out. Dude, what? Man, it's like AEW is nailing it. And the one thing, I know I don't have a seat at the table, Tony. But
I mean,
hey,
if you
man,
offer it, I'll take one. I mean,
hey, yeah, and if you want me to make a table, Jay Tilley and I, we could get some wood, chop something up. I know a couple of things, but I just ask you to talk to your guys and girls. Don't keep pushing the envelope. Enough is enough. You have really got a great product. You have a great and loyal fan base. You don't need to keep pushing the envelope and risking your performers, your superstars, your wrestlers' lives and careers, because some of this stuff is getting out of hand.
Talking about the Tiger
whew,
Driver 91.
bro, like, shoo,
man,
I'm gonna drink to that one. Hold up here.
Yeah, that shot from Ospreay, actually that match in general was phenomenal. Completely different storytelling than the first one, but yeah, that Tiger Driver, we just straight up drops him on the back of his neck. I was like, how is he not dead? You know, if you watch it in slow motion, he actually lands kind of on his shoulder, but it's still, it just, oh man, blew my mind. But yeah, I agree. Some of the spots that they've been taking lately are Sting in particular. Like, man, I think Sting got knocked a little loopy in that match on, I think it was Dynamite, where Guevara went to hit the cutter and kind of missed him and ended up just hitting him right in the head. Then he didn't roll off the table in time. And then the following, or I guess that was Forbidden Door. And then at Dynamite, he takes that dive off the table and probably knocked a few teeth out. But, and you know, like you said, you're 40, you know, and pushing 50. Just kidding. But, you know, he's what, 67 or whatever it is, or 65?
Seriously. And his physical age, his physical age is probably up there, probably surpassing mine, you know, and you too, having this military career. Everywhere we went, we had to carry, you know, nearly our body weight on our back. And whoever the decision makers were when we were kids, you know, humping up and down, don't make it weird. Humping is a act of walking in a group with everything you own on your back.
It's also a term for, oh wait, no, that's, I see.
Yeah. It's also a term for sexy lady. But the, like, man, just crazy. Kudos to Sting, and, you know, him just being real, being him, and the rub that he's given Darby Allin. And when Sting decides to leave on his terms, without, I don't know the right word, like upsetting Vince, I really wish that Undertaker would be there, because of the parallel comparisons to Sting and Undertaker. I think some of the faithful should be there when it's his final match. And just like the tipping of the cap, and, you know, him leaving his boots or his bat or his, you know, the jacket or some face paint or, you know, something. But yeah, dude, like my fandom of wrestling increases almost every day, because I see something new every single day, whether it's from AAA, not just Vikingo. Hey, Vikingo, we're still waiting to hear from you and your manager. If I'm hearing it on air, hey, check out this indie set from upstate New York, because there's this guy or girl, Matt Cardona, is out here doing his thing. It's freaking nuts, man. And AEW, they've got their package. They've got their deal with, is it Paramount and Warner Brothers and someone else?
It's Warner Brothers. I don't know if they got their streaming yet, but I have a feeling it's going to go to Paramount. But they also just signed that deal to be, I think, with the #1 Latin America streaming service too.
Hey,
so they're going to be streaming there too.
Yeah, and you've got Thunder Rosa doing her thing, wrestlers, sports entertainers, like reaching out and touching the masses, and, you know, seeing her on Busted Open with La Greca and the crew. Shout out to her. Shout out to La Greca and SiriusXM, how it all started. And, you know, it went from him talking smack to her breaking into his house and stuffing his sock in his mouth, holla, to where she is now. and I can't wait to see her back on the screen. Listening to her on commentary, I don't speak Spanish, but I really wish I understood because she was owning commentary, and I had the
subtitles. Yeah, she
good times for professional wrestling, so that's good shit.
Yeah, 100%. You talked about the Sting thing, and man, I think it's gonna be pretty emotional when he leaves because, like, for me especially, because he was the one that I started watching, and when I veered away from WWE for a while, it was Sting that caught my attention. And I've told the story about how my mom didn't want me watching wrestling, and then Sting was on, and then it was okay to start watching wrestling. So for him to retire, it's going to be emotional. Now, obviously, it's rumored. We don't know when it's going to happen or anything. But the other thing you talked about is the rub he's given Darby Allin. And it made me think about what happened on SmackDown. And I was curious about your opinion on it. So for all those probably listening a million times, our format's going to be a little off today because we're trying to catch up on everything. So we're not going to follow this straight WWE and then AEW talk. We're just going to talk wrestling. But what did you think about the Edge and Grayson Waller match? And the rub, I want to say in parentheses, that he gave him? I have mixed feelings about that whole thing, and I was curious what you thought. I thought I don't know how I felt about it. Like, I thought the match was decent, but for his first match on TV, why would you have him lose?
Yeah, I in the background, Grayson Waller didn't have a match sooner because he broke his leg.
Okay.
So they gave him a show, Grayson Waller Effect, to get him interacting with the fans, get him interacting with the wrestlers, superstars, and some of the backstage vignettes. And Edge, I think, is probably a year out from year-ish. I think July of next year is when his contract is up, based on like when he signed and the injury extension and show show requirements and stuff. So I think like him coming on, the Grayson Waller Effect, and him being like so personable, and then the action in the ring, it seemed to me like he was vouching for Grayson Waller and giving Grayson Waller the thumbs up, like, hey brother, you're good in my book, and you are a WWE superstar, and you will be for a long time. Therefore, we're going to be involved in a program. And I don't think last night was a one and done. I think there'll be a series of interruptions or something, and I don't necessarily think it'll be Beth Phoenix coming in and then Rhea comes in because they're both Australian or whatever, but there could be something maybe with Emma to get her over with another Aussie. But yeah, I think I think it was good. I give it a thumb and a half, maybe. 3 beards, 3 1/4, 3.5 beards. I think it was a thumbs up and a nod for Grayson Waller going forward.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah,
he even said to him, like, hey, you swam, you swam with the big dogs. So I agree. I think if they pursue it and they have another match at, let's say, SummerSlam, and Grayson Waller goes over, it'll be all right. And obviously I don't think Grayson Waller is going to beat Edge like on his first match, but I think they maybe should have saved this till next week and had Grayson go out there and have a match, last night, or Friday night, last night, had a different match, and then have him, win, not necessarily against a job or anything, or I don't know, I just felt like for his first match, it was a loss. However, I also understand it was a loss to Edge, one of the best there is, best there was, and no, that was Bret Hart, but you know what I mean? Like, one of the best there is and was. And I just thought that I guess if they have more of a program, and I think Grayson goes over in the end, I think it'll be worth it. And I thought it was definitely one of those things like, hey, we're giving you a nudge. And even Edge said it, like, you were in the ring with John Cena and you, now you're interviewing me. So somebody in the back is giving you a push and loves you. And I think that's actually pretty accurate. So I think it was good. It was just kind of odd to me that I understand he wasn't going to win. I'm glad it was a clean loss and it didn't come down to shenanigans or something goofy happening. So I guess that part was the best part about it, in my opinion. It was clean, in the middle, no shenanigans. Grayson Waller can come out and say, hey, can we do it again? I feel like I'm better than that, or whatever the case is. So, but yeah, it was a good match on a SmackDown that I thought was decent.
Yeah.
Kind of said it before we came on the air. I'm getting tired of the bloodline stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I see where it's going. Obviously, we're going to see Jay and Roman hit it off and go crazy at probably SummerSlam is my guess. Do they step that match up? I don't know. I mean, I think it was neat that for the first time in, 3 years, Roman Reigns got pinned. So big accomplishment there.
Yeah.
Did they write Jay or Jimmy off for a while now, like with the attack? So is it going to be Jay soloing for a while? I'm kind of curious as to what some of the story threads are going, but I don't know. The first half hour Raw was kind of predictable.
Yeah.
It was decent. I did like Solo holding the tribal chief thing and kind of like, yes, I'm with you. No, I'm not with you. Maybe I am.
Yeah.
And then it took his brother hitting him from behind to kind of change his mind. And he was going to go against Roman, but
sort of wake him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have preferred if he just picked it up, went right over to Roman and handed it to him. Like, I am solid with you. And then, whatever happens down the road and you get Solo and Roman down the road. But yeah. Interesting. I was hoping like Rikishi or something was going to come out though, when he was like,
dude,
who are you to hold this tribal chief, judgment? And then, well, it's not us. And then they bring out the elders, I'd have been like, that's cool.
Yeah. Who are you to hold court?
Right.
Without Solo, Sika, Afa, and Rikishi.
Yep.
And it's like, what? And then the whole Roman breaking down in tears, crotch shotting him.
Yep.
I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. And then he comes out at the end of the show and says, hey, we're going to try this again. Man, and Jay comes back out and, main event Jay, he's like, hey, I can't wait to kick your ass again. And what say you? You think Jay wins on a technicality or does Roman win clean?
Man. My guess is Roman wins, but probably not clean. I imagine Solo gets involved, and that's how it ends up going. That's how I think it'll end up. Or Solo gets involved and Jay does win, but I just don't see him. I don't know so they didn't say it was going to be for the title or not. He just laid the title on the ground. If it's for the title, no way he's not winning. If it's not for the title, I could see him winning it, and then using that to say, hey, I want a rematch for the title. And then maybe that's where Solo turns on Roman. I don't know. There's different ways they can go with it. So it'd be interesting to see how they do it. I thought the brawl looked pretty good. I thought the attack after the council, where he tied him up in the ropes and they were beating his brother, and I thought all that looked pretty good. However,
really good.
Yeah. I think the Logan Paul Ricochet footage from,
oh my God,
from, Money in the Bank, that was one of the best realistic looking beatdowns I think I've seen. I'm watching it. I'm going, I saw a clip on it first, like on social. I'm like, wow, is that real? And then I saw the clip on SmackDown. I think they played it again. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they really looked like they were going at it. That was one of the better brawls I've seen backstage.
Yeah.
It looked vicious. It looked like they were attacking each other. I like Logan Paul's comment about how he tried to end his career by dropping him on his head. And that was good, man. I have seen that spot over and over again.
Yeah. So Prince Puma, Ricochet, you're hailing from Las Vegas right now, originally from Kentucky. You ever want to come on the No Shave Man Cave? Your beard is on point. I'm over here. I'm over here looking at my Lucha Underground title, which he held.
Yep.
And I just keep envisioning what these two athletes are going to do in the ring.
Oh.
And just like, you just keep envisioning the.
Oh, I lost your audio. Are you there? I can't hear you.
Bar. They're going to keep every hip toss is going to get a little bit higher. Every arm drag is going to get a little bit tighter.
Yep.
Every, you're going to go from the second turnbuckle to the top rope, from the top rope out onto the floor, from out onto the floor. We're going to involve a table. We're going to oh man, it's going to be a galactic match for the ages. And for those who don't fully understand what Ricochet is able to do, just Google or go on YouTube and put in Prince Puma Lucha Underground in my Lanta, or shit, dude, like put in
Will Ospreay. Just look up the Will Ospreay
and
Ricochet
and Ricochet, and you probably will find religion, because you're gonna go, Jesus.
Yeah,
because some of the stuff they do, shoo.
Yeah, that match with Ricochet and Ospreay, yes, we all know it was a very choreographed match. However, I absolutely think that this Logan Paul Ricochet match they're going to try to top that or match it or do something very close to it. So that's what I'm picturing on this match. I hope they do it at SummerSlam. I think it'll be a great blow off match. I think the two of them in the ring. I mean, we saw it in the Rumble where they kind of intertwined with each other. And I think if they let Ricochet kind of lay this out and don't get too many of the WWE-isms in it and let them kind of do a Ricochet match, him and Logan Paul, they're going to put on a hell of a show. And it's going to be one of those where people are going to talk about it. And it's going to be, I could see it being compared to the Will Ospreay Ricochet match. Granted, they were both a lot younger back then, but that match was insane with the flips and everything. And I could see Logan Paul has that ability in him, and I can see him doing that. And as like the guy or not, in or out of the ring, he is got the talent for sure. And he's one of those guys that when he's got a passion for something, he's going to drive it, and he's going to be on it, and he's going to be doing everything he can to make that his number one thing. And I think those two working together is going to be interesting.
So compare the Roman Reigns match to what he would potentially do with Ricochet. And I personally think, as much as I like Ricochet, and I've got a couple of Ricochet, and I'm trying to find a Prince Puma shirt. So if you're part of the fam and you have a Prince Puma shirt, hit me up, extra large, maybe 2X, whatever. But what kind of match do you think will occur? And again, as much as I love Ricochet, I think your boy walks out with him and his Pokemon card, the Victor, because he needs to get a win, to keep his brand up. And not that Ricochet is Teflon, but he's secured in that mid card area,
right?
Because he's still a 4.5 beard matcher, no matter what. It'll be a clean victory, but what do you think? What do you think what do you think the fans and the universe are going to see?
I agree. I think it's good. Like I said, I compare it to probably the Will Ospreay Ricochet match. You're going to see a lot of that kind of style. and I think you'll see Logan Paul win it. I agree. I think Ricochet's probably kind of going to go into it as an underdog, as much as you don't want to say that because he's a professional, but he might play that underdog role as like Logan Paul played the underdog to Roman. I could see them hyping up the fact that Ricochet or that Logan Paul is a boxer and he's bigger and he's taller and he's stronger. So, they're going to play to the fact that Ricochet is a smaller guy. So they'll play the underdog card with him. But I have a feeling, you'll see very much that style match. A lot of flips, a lot of aerial stuff, probably some table spots. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it a TLC match and throw some crazy stuff into it. But I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a great match. Logan Paul has absolutely blown me away since he's been in WWE. Every match he's been in, I've been super impressed with. And, that's saying something because when he came in, I'm like, oh, I don't want this guy on my wrestling. But that's what WWE does good. They do the celebrity stuff really well. So it'll be interesting. But speaking of underdogs, let me go ahead and hit the commercial. We'll go to our underdogs, our sponsors. We'll let them do their piece, and we'll come back on the flip side and talk some more stuff, probably some AEW, but we'll see what we get to.
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use the promo code NOSHAVE to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
Gingerbread sent you. No shave. Use our code. Get that free $100. So, talked a little bit about WWE. Go ahead.
No shave.
No shave.
Ginger is the name of my unruly Frenchie, so it's kind of fitting. So, shoo. But yeah, dude, like keep preaching, man. You were bringing it to the sermon, and yeah, keep it running.
Yeah, man. So, I want to flip from some of the WWE talk to some of the AEW stuff and kind of field your opinion with your WWE brain on some of the stuff that you think is going on with the Blackpool Combat Club, the Blood and Guts stuff coming up, all honesty, and I'm a big Elite fan and I'm a big Blackpool Combat fan. I'm kind of looking forward to Blood and Guts because I think the feud's lost some steam. I think Anarchy and the Rita could have ended it there. However, adding Takeshita in it and adding Eddie Kingston definitely, like we talked at the beginning of the show, sparked something. And if this is going to spin off to a program with Eddie Kingston and Moxley, man, forget about it. Like those guys will go out there and kill each other, and they're best friends for real outside. I love the little interaction with Renee Paquette backstage. One of the Dynamites. Like I said, it's been a while since we talked, but her being Moxley's wife. So it's the first time they've ever interacted on AEW TV. Her knowing that Moxley and Kingston are good friends and then looking at them like, hey, you guys got to fix this and getting all mad. And then you got Yuta in the background laughing about it and Castagnoli being a jerk. Man. And then, him going and winning the what was it? The open weight, right? Or the neverweight, the neverweight championship.
Neverweight. Yep.
Him going to win that neverweight. Amazing. And now I'm curious, is he going to end up winning the Ring of Honor down the road against Claudio? So that'll be great. Unless they give it to Mark Briscoe, because I know Mark Briscoe is going after the Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah. So I would love to see, Briscoe walk out of there with the title. I wanted him to win the TV title, a while ago when him and Samoa Joe, went toe to toe. But I think, it would be, man, to have him be double strapped up with the Ring of Honor world title and the Neverweight. Just, I mean, it especially when you go back and you listen to every single piece of what he's done in professional wrestling to today. I'm super excited on what will happen with the relationship between New Japan and ECW.
AEW.
And what did I say?
You said ECW. You went way back.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You went to the Wayback
ECW,
Machine.
they're coming back. So
they did have a working relationship with New Japan,
yeah,
though.
Yeah. AEW and everything that they're going to do. I just, man, to see Eddie get the title, do the promo in the back. It's, yeah, I think it's, man, you can't even, like, you're trying to fantasy book, okay, you're going to put him with him and do this and this and that and that. But there's so many different nuances because of the relationship with the BCC, the relationship with the Young Bucks, what you can and can't do in, the amount of time on TV. And then you have the live events, both in AEW and with New Japan. And then you have the New Japan Strong shows that he's doing. Man, the stories that they can tell, and then just the emotion that Moxley can pour into. I think it's only going to take the title to the next level while Kingston has it. And then if Moxley ends up carrying that title, shoo! I mean, he was fortunate to carry the most beautiful title in wrestling, the New Japan United States title. If he's carrying that title, it elevates it even more. It signifies and strengthens the relationship between AEW and New Japan. And then you have, like, fingers crossed when Monet comes back. I don't want her to be all elite, but I want her on an all elite-esque level to where she's at shows.
I'd like to see her
in AEW or even Ring of Honor with her and Athena. My God. Like, her
Athena and Willow are going at it next week, I think.
Oh,
on
Willow?
Dynamite. Yeah, Willow and Athena. But I think what you're going to see Monet, and I think would be good for her, is if she did the kind of like the Ishii or the Tanahashi, where they come in and do a couple matches when they're in town and then leave. For now, eventually, yes, I'd love to see her settle into AEW, and I'd love to see her get a good run as an AEW champion. Because I think the match, if she were to come in now between her and Toni Storm, dream match. You put her and Britt Baker in there, dream match. Her and Ruby Soho, probably pretty good. There's her and Willow.
Oh man,
I want to see that
Soho. Again. Oh my God, I want to see her and Willow together.
Without a broken ankle.
What's the? Yeah, minus the broken ankle. What's
Jamie Hayter?
Steel. Or not Blue Steel, but the new young
Blue Sky. Sky Blue.
And Sky Blue.
Yep.
And then who was the one that the girl who looks like Tiffany Stratton with Stardom?
Oh, Julia, the one that just won and beat Willow.
No.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't have my phone near me, but yeah, there's a couple of Stardom wrestlers that are next level that if we could get them come stateside, and then, you've got all of the fantastic Collision wrestlers. And then did you see the most recent post? I don't mean to like knife handy and get all militant
like,
on you.
Getting all marine on me.
Dude. So we have some word, some gossip, some
allegedly's
going that the title that CM Punk never lost will become the Collision title.
Yeah. I heard that rumor going around too. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh man.
Which
feel
it's actually going to lead me into what I was going to talk to you about anyway next, which is Collision in general.
Dude, let's go.
So
I love
first.
I like the show.
Me too.
It
different.
Taps into my WWE brain with a little bit of a, Salt Bay. You get the dusting of not sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the zesting of international superstars with this awesome amplified Lucha Underground production.
Yep.
And just like everyone who's in the ring, like I like how their matches aren't perfect, that they've got like they miss a step on a rope, or they look at each other when there isn't a 3 count and they're like, oh shit, I didn't know you were gonna kick out. Oh yeah, it's the next one that you don't kick out from. And I'm feeling it, man. And that it's like from the intro, the song, the production, the commercials, the crowd. I love it, man. I freaking love it.
I agree. Damn. And I think the idea of giving them their own title, like if it is the one he's carrying around, I'm okay with it. I didn't want to see it happen when we first talked about it, because I'm like, no, I don't want a hard brand split, blah, blah, blah. But the way they're doing it, it's kind of not a brand split, but kind of is. And I think if you give them a title of their own, I think it'd be fine, because you've got people like the House of Black and Malachi Black, who says he doesn't want to work on Dynamite. He'd rather work on Collision. You got Miro, who's going to stick to Collision. You have Andrade, who's going to stick to Collision. So you've got players who are going to probably stick on Collision. So an unofficial roster split. Obviously, Punk's not going to be on Dynamite much. Whether or not they keep it split and it's really a work, and down the road we get an invasion angle, or we get a champion versus champion down the road. Maybe Omega wins the title and Punk's got his and we have champion. I don't know. But I'm okay with them keeping it separate, because like you were just saying, I feel like Collision is a different show than Dynamite, which is what it's supposed to be. And I know that sounds redundant, but it's a completely different feeling. It's almost like somebody completely different is producing it, writing it, booking it. And I dig it. I like that it's not. So like if you look at Raw and SmackDown, all right, they're both WWE. They feel like WWE. You get the same WWE stuff on each one. This is like Dynamite is the Elite show, which is the flips and the over the top stuff and the little very small micro stories that go on. And then you've got Collision, which is very much reminds me of old school Ring of Honor. Like when Ring of Honor was peak of its level, where they had the storylines going on and New Japan issues with it and all that. That's what Collision is starting to feel like. I'm waiting to see where some of the stories develop from, because right now they haven't done a whole lot. Like they're getting there, right? So you've got the Bullet Club Gold forming. You've got Punk and Samoa Joe, which will be a great feud. You've got Andrade and the House of Black thing going. So they're building their stories. And it's going to take time. It's what, the 3rd episode tonight or 4th episode tonight? 3rd, I think. So it's got time to grow. But I agree. I enjoy it. It's interesting to me. It's, first of all, I haven't seen a high-flying match on it yet. It's all been very old school wrestling. Okay, can't complain about that. I haven't seen a lot of backstage interviews getting interrupted. You're not seeing a lot of. There's just a lot. It's just a straight up, like I said, old school Ring of Honor to me. It feels like old school Ring of Honor, very straightforward. Have a great match, tell some stories, and I think it's a great idea. And I don't know if that's a testament to whether the fact CM Punk's got a pretty good hand in it and Daniel O'Brien's helping book it, or if Tony Khan is going back to some of his roots maybe and trying to like, all right, I need to calm down a little bit. But I mean, the guy's smart, right? He knows what he's doing. So he's thinking, I need this to feel different. It needs to be something unique, special, and not like the others. And I think he's doing a hell of a job with it, personally.
No, yeah, 100%. I think you're spot on with. I want the shows to be the exact same, but completely different. And you're like, huh, okay, cool. So the angles are the same, but the lighting is different.
Mm-hmm.
The interviews, you're still asking questions, you're still getting answers, but you're not getting as many run-ins in the back. So I really appreciate that level. And no matter where Renee Paquette is, she's making money. And she's just been so fantastic with the transition. And nothing negative against JR. But commentary has stepped up. And I think them understanding, hey, JR may not be back.
Right.
He may be more of a backstage presence. But I would love to get one other commentator in there. And if it happens to be a woman, that's fine. Probably more beneficial, whoever they decide to bring in for Collision. I would love to see like Excalibur, Taz, and someone else. Maybe not Shivani. And let Shivani be the face and the voice of Rampage and Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
That way, it makes them more distinct, special, different, not like the others. Because I tell you, like, just the personality of the show, the flow, the backstage production, the lighting, the energy. I mean, it's like Dynamite is already great, but Collision has been a lot of fun, and being able to get a couple extra hours of AEW in that freaking awesome roster, being able to see Miro and we're going to see our tag team champions FTR, and seeing CM Punk out there having fun and smiling. That was very different for me.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear your opinion and how you felt about the match. Him like really being super engaging. It was so different for me because I have not ever seen him have that much fun in the match, and that to be a Owen Hart match. I think it's even more significant. So I'd love to hear your opinion because you're such a Hart fan, and it's just a very big tribute to wrestling and to Hart and to the building up of CM Punk's credibility, or however you see it. I'm not sure how you see it.
I think one of the differences is I think he's playing a heel, or he's getting ready to. So I think that's part of the teasing the fans, the Kojima as he's clotheslining him. That was a callback to an old Ring of Honor thing he and Samoa Joe did. So I think that's part of it. And I think he has more fun playing a heel. I think he's having a good time because if you watched when he first, before the Hangman stuff happened and all that, he was having fun. He was glad to be back. He was doing a lot of fun stuff. But I definitely feel like this is a new version of him we're going to see. I'm dying to see where it's going to unfold and go. I cannot wait for tonight. The matches tonight with Samoa Joe and Punk. I mean, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be such a good match. I can't wait to see it. I think Punk wins it. I think Punk goes to the final, and I think Punk loses to Ricky Starks. I think he's going to put over Ricky Starks. I don't. Wow. Yeah, I think. Wow. So this will be a true test, right? So Punk has always said one of his issues is he wanted the young guys to get over, and he wanted the young guys to be the ones to carry on, and this and that. So if he wins the Owen Hart or the Owen Cup, he's just squashing that. So you got Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs tonight. I think Ricky Starks will win it, and maybe Powerhouse, either one of them, I think will win it. And I'm pretty sure they take on the winner of Samoa Joe and MJF, not MJF, Samoa Joe and CM Punk, if I'm correct. I think that's the final. So I see it being CM Punk and one of those two guys which he in the past has helped, worked with, said they're great talents. So it'll be a true test to see if he puts them over in the end. Like he loses to either one of those guys would be pretty cool. And I think that's what'll happen for the Owen at least. And I think that'd be a cool way to do it. On the women's side, I have no idea who's going to win. I have no clue who's going to take the women's side of it. Maybe Britt Baker again. I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I mean, with Britt Baker taking the L the other night, I think, we won't have back-to-back champs on the women's side. Do you give it to Adam Cole, baby? Considering he's in the tag team running, I don't necessarily think we'll have a back-to-back men's winner.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she did lose, didn't she, to Ruby Soho? Yeah. So we won't have back-to-back. I forgot she lost. And Adam Cole's not in the tournament this year, so it's down to the last four, which are Starks, Hobbs, Punk, and Samoa Joe are your final four. And on the women's side, I think it's Sky Blue, Ruby Soho, and I cannot for the life remember the other two.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're taking you want to put a rocket on someone,
I could see Sky Blue winning it.
I would see Sky Blue and Ricky Stark winning it.
Yep.
And then Ricky just goes on this absolute tirade where he wins a bunch of matches, but he doesn't strap up. He doesn't win a title. And he stumbles into the TNT title post Adam Cole winning, maybe before. He would win the TNT title shortly before Adam Cole wins the AEW title, and then MJF goes away, and then AEW hits.
I tell you what, I think, I think what I'd like to see is, and I'm really enjoying, is this MJF Adam Cole thing, man. I'm having a lot of fun with what they're doing. Even their in-ring work together is great. So I kind of hope they make a run at it. I'm almost hoping they win the tournament. But speaking of teams that blew me away, though, did you see Big Bill and Brian Cage on Rampage?
Bro, what? I love me some Brian Cage.
Me too.
He's married to the announcer from Lucha Underground. And when I was watching, she did an interview recently, and I just felt like I was in the underground, and I was just like, oh my God. And just like the work that Brian Cage is doing, knowing, and both of us, we can sympathize with back pain and stuff. And this is a big dude.
Oh yeah.
And he has a lot of muscle and the abdominal and the belt strength that he's got to support his spine. Just some of the work that he's doing, dude, I am feeling it, and I cannot wait to see over the next year, what they do with Brian Cage, I would say him and Luchasaurus will tussle a couple of times, and he'll walk out the TNT champion once or twice probably. And we're like, as a wrestling fan, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and Google
I tell you though,
hit Twitter up, hit us up at No Shave Man Cave.
Hey,
if
there's
you're
my
at
lines
an
at the
indie
end.
show, my bad. Yeah. Hey, if you're at an indie show and you're like, dude, you got to check this brother or sister out, hey, hit us up, No Shave Man Cave. Let us know. We're gonna start, working on our wrestling road trip and getting some folks online and working on a vlog, a blog, a zog. I don't even know what that stands for.
Speaking of indie shows,
shoot.
You saw who's going to debut on Wednesday night, right? Nick Wayne, the prodigy that just turned 18. He turns 18 2 days before Dynamite. And him and Swerve Strickland, talking about a match to see. If this is a dude you've never heard of, cool. Don't look him up. Just wait till you see him and Swerve in the ring together. I don't think he'll win, obviously. I mean, they're not going to push him that hard, but I think you're going to about to see a match, assuming nerves don't get the better of him. My guess is, I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think he and Swerve have worked on the indies together a lot, and I think they might train together. So I think that's why it's going to be his first match. There's probably some trust there, but that's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, there were some really cool training videos with him and Swerve in, was it Maryland or Virginia? Somewhere in the Triangle, the NCR, the National Capital Region. They've had some shows. So shit hot, man. Kudos to AEW and everything they're doing. And if you're out there grinding, you're trying to make a difference, you're trying to get the boys and girls off the street, making them a professional in something, and it just happens to be for professional wrestling, hit us up, man, here at the No Shave Man Cave. We'll come out, we'll do some play-by-play, we'll help with promos, and shit, man.
Billy Stark, she's another one. She debuted at Forbidden Door. She showed up at Forbidden Door and did one of her first matches on pay-per-view. That's crazy. But yeah, good stuff going on right now, man. It's awesome. I'm loving it. And hopefully you guys are loving this show. And big things to come. We did have to take a little bit of a hiatus. We slowed down a little bit. If you've listened to the other show, cool. If you want to know what's going on, we're not going to keep repeating it, but you can check out some of the past shows. Ellie Jarrett's got some personal stuff going on. He kind of went through it and is talking about it. And we're going to go through it for about 6 months still or so. But we're going to get back into the role of it. We're going to get back into doing our thing, trying to at least record and get the podcast out and our live shows out. Look for some big announcements coming up. We're going to partner up with a couple other shows. Wrestling Addicts wants to do another collab with us. A wrestler that happens to have her own podcast that we may have mentioned throughout the show wants to have us on one day. So as soon as we get confirmation of all that, we're going to put that out. Follow us on Twitter for all that news. No Shave Man Cave, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, where we go live every Tuesday and Thursday. And also, well, maybe not this Tuesday. I'm working. We'll see. Somebody will be live on Tuesday and Thursdays, but at least Thursday. I don't know if we'll be on for Tuesday or not, because like I said, I got work, but we'll see. Maybe Ellie Jarrett will be on there live by himself. But live on YouTube and Rumble, No Shave Man Cave. Hit us up, email at No Shave Man Cave at gmail.com. Man, I'm rusty. We haven't done this in a while. And again, appreciate everybody. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. If you change your mind, you can undo it anytime you want. Just helps us out in the meantime. Time to tag out. Hot tag, baby. It's you.
Bump and feed. Hey, fam, check it out. Like, subscribe, follow, check it out. Hey, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're on freaking Fan Time, whatever it is, let us know where you're at. Hit us up. Hit us with a follow. We'll follow back. Hey, and there are some new platforms that are getting ready to come out. We've got the Blue Sky that is ready to come out, and we are in the waiting list for that. It takes a little bit of while because you have to get approved, and it takes a little bit of time. We do have a Threads account. Heyo! So hit us up on our Threads account. Just started that this morning at 0:30 when my little pooches wanted to go out.
Oh, I lost your audio. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Nope. Now I can hear you.
Hear me now.
Now I got you.
Boom! Until next time, friends, fam, brothers and sisters in arms, keep doing what you're doing because we love everything that you're doing. We are so proud of you. And don't ever forget, brothers, sisters, everybody who's part of the fam, and even if you're not, you're just a casual listener. If you're battling or having any kind of
Lost you again, brother. But I have a feling I know what you're saying. There he goes. He's back. Go ahead. I lost you again.
There he is. Hey, it's nonstop. Hey, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up tight. Bump and feed. Thank you for everything that you do. Like, subscribe, follow. Until next time, fam. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you on the floor.